This is the Crossley Armoured Car.
The Vickers Crossley Armoured Car, also known as the Model 25, was a British-made military vehicle used by the British Army in India, predominantly on the northwest frontier. The body was purposely built by the Vickers Armstrong Company for action against tribesmen, and as these tribesmen were not armed with much more than rifles and machine guns, the armour did not need to be very thick. One of the standout features of this vehicle, which I rather like aesthetically, is the domed turret with its twin 7.7mm machine guns and their armoured jackets. You may notice that the turret has 4 mountings. This allowed the crew to move machine guns from one mounting to another, depending on the angle needed. The opening of these mountings closed automatically on a spring system so that enemy bullets did not enter when the machine guns were being moved to new positions. At the top of the dome is the driver's cupola, which opened a little like a clamshell and therefore provided the commander of the vehicle fairly good cover if he was looking about. And this cupola could also be rotated independently of the dome, making it a rather unusual feature. Another cool feature of this vehicle is that the side doors opened in opposite directions, so that the crew could choose the side from which to exit from when under fire. So for example, if the enemy fire was coming from the front of the vehicle, the crew could exit on the left as the door on that side of the vehicle opened to the front of the vehicle. And similarly, if the enemy were firing from the rear, the right door opened to the back and hence allowed a crew some cover from fire from the rear of the vehicle. The turret was dome-shaped. As the northwest of India is rather mountainous and much of the enemy fire would have been coming from above, and the curved surface of the dome would have aided in seeing off rifle and machine gun fire. Due to the vehicle's 4x2 design, only the rear axles were driven by the engine, and hence, along with their solid tyres, the Vickers Crossley had rather poor off-road capabilities and was mostly used on roads and in urban areas. The engine produced 50 horsepower, giving the vehicle a top speed of 65 to 70 kilometers per hour. The Imperial Japanese Navy imported the Model 25 in the early 1930s for use in China and was called the Type 87 and apparently also known as the Dowa, but I was unable to confirm this. Information on where they were employed is rather sketchy, but they were photographed in Shanghai and Tientsin and used on both battles of Shanghai. Unfortunately, the fate of these vehicles is unknown. The Type 87's battle-ready weight was 2 tons, and the armor plating was 6mm, and it had a crew of 4 to 5. In his video, Japanese Armored Cars 1927 to 1945, my friend Adam highly recommends the Type 87 to represent Japanese armored cars in China. And that's why I collected one. Adam's channel, Wargaming China, is very informative and well worth subscribing to. Please go and have a look at his channel. Really interesting. So for my bolt action collection, I had my Type 87 3D printed from 3D Wargaming. The vehicle fits well in with my collection. For a large battle that I'm planning for the club, in bolt action, the Type 87 armoured car can be purchased fairly cheaply at 70 points for a regular vehicle that can provide mobile machine gun covering fire for advancing infantry in the streets of Shanghai, where I plan to use my model. Bolt action gives the Type 87 7+ for its armour and recognizes the vehicle's 2 turret-mounted machine guns, allowing for 10 dice when firing at the enemy. Although the Type 87 has limited use in my collection, I couldn't resist including her in my Japanese forces. She's such a beauty to look at. I hope you've enjoyed this short video of the Type 87 armoured car. Please do support my channel by subscribing if you haven't already done so. Until next time, happy gaming!